Hello, I'm Caroline Cabrera, Director of Education for Miami. The Greenhouse Teachers Lab is brought to you by Miami. These modules aim to provide teachers with creative writing strategies supported by a trauma-informed lens. Through projects, events, and publishing, we create a platform for amplifying Miami's people, investing in a new shared narrative of our city and a more equitable picture of its future. We believe that art and self-expression should be equally available to every Miamian. In this module, Miami Sunroom teaching artist Huerta and licensed psychotherapist and board-certified art therapist Elia Khalaf give teachers several free writing techniques to use in the classroom.
Hello. Hi, Kita. I'm excited to be here with you today.
Hi, Elia. I am very excited too.
So today we're going to be talking about free writing and exploring this in this module through two different trauma-informed lenses, top-down approach and bottom-up approach. So where should we start?
Could you walk me through both approaches?
Sure. So we have these two different ways to process information. Top-down processing starts with our mind, and that's basically starting with a thought or a preconceived notion or even a cognitive function such as imagination, visualization, or memory. And then we drop the awareness to the body. So in other words, we might think of something and then say, how does that make me feel physically? Or what am I sensing when I think of that thought? And then the other approach is bottom-up processing. So that's about retrieving sensory information from our surroundings, like a scent or a color, a visual, and then bringing it up to the mind and thinking about processing that physical sensation. So those are the two ways we can process information.
So to put into practice the bottom-up approach, we will begin with a breathwork exercise, followed by free writing and a poetry prompt. For the top down, we will be doing a writing exercise that involves feeling and somatic awareness.
Great.
Free writing, or stream of consciousness writing, is writing without censoring oneself and without interruptions. You can write about anything, whether it be having a pet alligator or your favorite place in the world, whether real or imaginary. This is a great way for writers to generate new ideas as well as express themselves, so it is especially helpful for brainstorming or for overcoming writer's block. You do not need to pick a topic, but any topic is welcome and correct. So Elia, why is this important from a trauma-informed perspective?
Well, first of all, if we define trauma as a natural response to an adverse experience, and that could be conflict, loss, an experience of violence, then processing and knowing how people process information becomes really important. Many times after experiences of trauma, we respond by compartmentalizing, by kind of dividing and conquering the information. So people might not remember something but know a physical sensation, or know the thought but not the feeling. So this type of exercise and being mindful of the two processing approaches helps people reintegrate and reconnect information.
That is very interesting. So let's do some breath work for the bottom-up approach. We will start with triangle breath work.
Okay.
So for this, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and start breathing in and out only through the nose. Deep, long breaths. Now, we will inhale for 5 seconds. Retain or keep your breath in for 5. And exhale for 5. You can repeat this cycle for 6 to 8 times maybe, and then still with eyes closed, inhale freely through the nose and lower chin onto chest. Exhale and slowly blink your eyes open and closed again. Now inhale, bringing chin back to regular height, and gently open your eyes while exhaling. A soothing, calming tone of voice can help set the atmosphere. And also, if 5 seconds prove to be too long for some folks, then 3 to 4 second breaths work perfectly well. We don't want to strain anyone. We are aiming for relaxation. Another example of the bottom-up approach can be the butterfly hug. For this, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe in deeply through the nose, then breathe out, also through the nose. Bring the palms of your hands to your chest in a crisscross fashion, and then lightly tap right hand, then left. And keep going, alternating left and right, while breathing deeply and slowly. Concentrate on the breath and start feeling this pleasantness spreading throughout the body. If the mind strays, without judgment, bring it back to the breath. Do this for 1 minute. After the minute is up, lightly open your eyes and release the hands. How did that feel?
That was actually very relaxing.
I am glad.
And so when we think of this type of bilateral stimulation or alternating movement from left to right, we know based on research that it activates the parasympathetic nervous system response. So basically it puts us into rest and digest mode, and that's why we feel so relaxed and calm.
Great. That is very interesting.
It's pretty great, and it's good to know not to go more than 1 minute or too fast with the tapping too, because overstimulating can have adverse effects. Kita, can you tell us an example of a free writing activity with a bottom-up processing?
Sure. So for free writing, you can ask students to write freely about how they feel following the breath work. So you can ask them to write whatever comes to their mind without editing, censoring, or interrupting themselves. And you can give them 10 to 15 minutes to do so, and maybe play some relaxing music in the background if that works, preferably without lyrics. Another bottom-up prompt idea that you can use following the breath work is to hold a fruit, an avocado or a mango, or if possible, to go outside and sit under the shade of a tree. And once there, do a full body scan, and then write a poem that vividly describes every feeling. For example, does the top of my head feel warm with the sun? Or are my fingernails full of dirt? Etc. Encourage the use of figurative language, of using the 5 senses and exploring them while writing, and to write something that only they would write, to let their personality shine through their poems. After this, set aside 15 minutes to share what they wrote. If encouragement is needed for the sharing part, then provide students with options. For example, would you like me to share your poem for you, or would you like to only read an excerpt of it?
So what I really like about free writing is that it's an open-ended space for expression where students don't necessarily feel like there's a right or wrong way to do it and express themselves.
Yes, it is very good for building self-confidence too.
So now let's switch gears and go towards the top-down approach, or going to the top of the ladder to the mind and then going down to the body. And the top-down approach to processing is about starting with a concept, a broad idea, or kind of a preconceived structure and notion, and then dropping it to the world of feelings and seeing how does that thought feel in my body? What physical sensations arise when I'm having that thought? So Kita, can you give us an example of a writing exercise or activity for top-down processing?
Yes. So for the top-down, think of a person you admire, and then write a detailed list of every feeling, thought, or idea that comes up when you think of this person. So I feel extra confident when I think of them, or I feel a shoulder to lean on, a hand to hold, etc.
That's great. And either approaches honor a mind-body connection. And unfortunately, in our culture, many times we prioritize the top-down approach, especially as students are working towards academic pursuits or intellectual efforts. But from this perspective, both matter. And from this perspective, we are having an opportunity for emotional expression, cognitive functioning, and somatic processing as well. And so on that note, any last words?
Yes, another great thing about breathwork and free writing is that they are resources that you can access as needed, anywhere, anytime.
Thank you so much, Kira. It was so great working with you on this.
You too, Elia. Thank you.